friends, this is Carol, and I'm here today to bring you this shaker frame that I created on my last video. In the fall and in Halloween, at Halloween time, I had created frames almost like this. This time around, I created a shaker, so you can make the other frames the same way as you do this one. The only thing different between this frame and the fall and Halloween one is that I used this particular die right here from Elizabeth Craft Designs. It is die number 1498 and it's Happy Frame Extra Large. For my back, I am creating a easel frame, so I use this Tim Holtz Alterations easel. Yeah, small easel is what it's called for the back. Now, I'm going to go over what I used for the paper, and I had used 110-pound cardstock, and I cut 4 of the dies out on that. The backing is 7 7/8 by 7 7/8. You're going to need 2 pieces of that. You're going to need a piece of acetate 7.5 by 7.5. Just 1 piece, and then 4 strips cut at 12 inches by 1 inches. All right, so I assembled a little bit of this to cut down on the length of this video, and I'm going to show you how to put it together. And like I said, I already put that for time's sake. So what you're going to do is you're going to have a piece that looks like this after you cut it. And then you're going to want to fold on the score lines and use your bone folder and crease it. So there are actually 1, 2, 3, 4 score lines that you're going to crease on one side of your frame. After you get that done, then you're going to put your shortest side to the inside and you're going to put adhesive. Now, you can use double-sided tape, but us Southern girls need to use something stronger than double-sided tape because of the heat and humidity here. So I am using this glue right here. It's a silicone liquid glue, and a fellow crafter sells it. It's Martha Creations. She is on Instagram, and I highly recommend the glue because nothing I make comes apart. So as you can see, I adhered it by making it go flat. That way it adheres correctly on this. And then you're just going to make it back into like a cylinder again. So the next step is to figure out how to put this together. Your front is going to have these mitered corners. And so there's going to be a mitered corner on every side. So this is going to slip in like this. So I need to put adhesive in here. And then I put some going this way on the frame. And I just slip it in here and line it up so that I have a good corner on there. And you're gonna, I hope you can see that. I'm just gonna hold it in place for a little bit. I'm gonna bring it up here so you can see, and then hold it in place, and then you're going to smooth that out, and then on the back you'll see it's squared off, and that's going to be covered anyway because of the cover that we put on there. And then I'll show you how to do this piece. So since the mitered is here, you're going to want this flat piece going in here as such. I'm hooked up on something somehow. You're going to go like that, and then you're going to take this square piece and put it in that one. So I'm going to put some adhesive on here And I'm going to put some across this way. And then I'm going to put my adhesive in here. And then I'm going to put some across this way. That's going on the inside. I'm going to just slip this in here and slip this in here. And then I'm going to take it and get it so that it's square. So we're going to push it in until it meets. Hold it down, and the same on this side. Push it in until it meets, and then hold it down while it sticks. So this is usually 8 by 8. That's your outside frame. It's not what's in the inside. All right, so now that I got that, I'm going to move on to what I've already done, which is this has already been prepared. So you're going to take the one of the backing 7 1/8 by 7 1/8, and whatever you are going to use on the inside. Now for my inside, this was in the paper collection. It's the sentiments that are in there. Some paper collections will have it that will fit on the inside. This one did not. So what I did was I used a 7 1/8 by 7 1/8 backing, and then I put some dimensional tape on the back of this so that it pops up a little bit. I cut it out and I put the tape on the back and I adhered it, and then I just glued it to the back of the frame. So that's how you get to this point. And then I just added some snowflakes that I had in my stash and some little rhinestones on top of that. So you can use whatever you want for your background. Now I'm going to add my shaker material. So I'm going to do some clear sequins, some silver sequins, because my paper has a silver accent on it, some white sequins, and then I'm going to add these snowflakes, and I'm not going to put too many of these because I don't want it to cover up too much of the wording, so that you can see it says all is calm, all is bright on here. So I'm going to put 3 of the blue sequin snowflakes and a couple of the silver and a couple of the white. And then I like my shakers to be, oops, that stuck to my finger. I like my shakers to be noisy, so I'm going to put in some of these real shiny, sparkly bugle beads. And then I'm going to put in some of these round beads. There we go. And for the last, I'm going to put in this jumbo glitter. It's real sparkly. I got this at Hobby Lobby. And that's about it for that. That's enough shaker material. So now I'm going to attach my acetate piece. And remember, I said to cut this 7 1/2 by 7 1/2. And we're going to adhere it onto the top. Now, if you're having problems with your sequins sticking to this, you can always take a dryer sheet and rub it on the back. I got a couple sticking, but it's okay. I'm going to go ahead and add the adhesive, and because it's 7 1/2 by 7 1/2, I'm not going to add the adhesive to the very end. I'm going to actually go down the middle because I don't want to have a lot of glue on the edge here for the sequins to stick to. And I'm going around with the silicone glue as well. And you don't want your adhesive to show on the inside edge of the frame. So I'm not going there with it. I am going to be covering up the edges with the punched 12 by 1 inch paper that I told you about in just a moment. So I think I've got just about enough on here. And I'm going to take this piece of acetate, trying to figure out which side the sequin's on. It's on that side. And I'm just going to lay it on top. And then you're just going to run your finger around the edge to get that to adhere. All right, I have already cut down my, let's see, 12 inch by 1 inch pieces of paper. So when you cut your 12 by 1 inch piece of paper, you're going to use a punch. This is the punch that I used. It's a Martha Stewart punch, and I just punched the edges. So this one, I am going to put this one on the top. I already marked them, and I'm not on the top. The top is facing you this way. All right, and this one is going to go this way, and then I'm going to adhere these like this. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And all you have to do is just lay your paper on top of your frame like that, and then just cut it to fit. That was the easiest for me to do. So I'm going to put some adhesive on here. And you can see it covers up most of the frame. And I'm going to put this one down. And I'm going to turn it to face me so I have it right to the edge. I want to make sure it's right to the edge. And then I'm going to put these. This is the right side. So this would be my right side. And the reason I marked this is because my cardstock was ombre, and I wanted some of the teal on the corners and some of the purple on the corners. Normally you don't have to worry about that, but it's just the way I wanted this to be. And just smooth that out, because you can see the teal here and the purple here. And then I'm going to put this piece on this side. And as you can see, I already applied some of the outside trim to try to save time, so this video won't be so long. So here we go with that. Now the next step is to put this trim. This is adhesive trim, and it comes from Michaels, and I have to cut it in half just for a single row. That's plenty. And then I'm just going to measure it up against here, and I'm going to cut it. And I apply this with hot glue, even though it does have a sticky back on it, because it will not stick here in Southeast Georgia. I'll get up in the morning and it will be unstuck. Even though it's supposed to be 20 degrees tomorrow morning here, we have just about 1 week a year where it's cold. And I guess this is going to be our week. And I'm almost done. All right, and we're going to do the other side. We're going to measure it again. And I really have to do this before I go to the next step because the bears and the trees are going to go on top of this. Put some hot glue. All right, and I've got one too many rhinestones here at the end, so I'm going to clip this one off with my scissors and just lay that down. And then this is what we have. And the next thing we're going to do is I've already pre-made and cut my trees. These are Marianne Creatable trees, and I showed the die in the swap video. And what I did was cut it on 110-pound cardstock and I glittered it. So I have 3 of those. And then what I have next is the bears. And this bear is from Cottage Cuts. And this bear is also from Cottage Cuts. And this is a Marianne Creatables bear. Now we're going to attach these to the picture frame. So we're going to do 2 trees on this side. And we're going to let this one overhang the frame a little bit. And this one we're going to put a little bit towards the frame. We're going to take this outside edge and put it against the frame, just like that. So we have to adhere this one first since this one is on top. And then this one is going to go over here, and I put it all the way to the bottom, and then this is the bear that's going to go on top, and then this bear goes on this side. So let's go ahead and do that. So I don't want to go all the way to the top with the tree, but I will put hot glue down the center. And then I'm going to put it right about there and up against the rhinestone. And now we're going to do the second tree. And I think I might need some glue here. Just put the hot glue down the center of the tree. It'll hold it. Did you see that little shoulder action to push the hot glue into that glue gun? So I've got that lined up the way I want it. And now I'm going to do the bear. And I'm going to use this foam tape on the back. And I don't have any problems with the foam sticking to the back of this. Let's see if I get need a little help from my friend here. This tool to help me peel off the backing. It's always a stickler. Here it comes. All right. Now I am going to put hot glue on this because I know this will not stick without it. All right. And that's going to go right on top of that tree. Isn't he cute? Okay. And then we're going to adhere this tree on the other side. Okay, and the tree I'm going to put right up against here. Let's lift it up a little bit, too far down, and put it right there. Okay. Make sure it's down. Yep. And I'm going to put some of this tape on the back of the polar bear. And I'm going to peel this tape off. This is the hardest part of the whole thing. I do struggle with this. Here we go. And I'm going to take hot glue. All right. And I'm going to put him right here on top of the rhinestones. Okay, now the last thing we have to do is put the bear on the top. And he's going to go right about here, I think. I just eyeball it. Yeah, he looks good right about there. So yes, I'm doing this with hot glue. No tape because I'm going up over that rhinestone. So he looks good right about there. Okay, now I don't want to move this a little too much to get sticky, but I think I should be okay. What I'm going to do is flip this over now, and I am going to add my backing. And remember that the backing was 7 1/8 by 7 1/8, and this is some designer paper that I cut, and I know that's my top, and I just want this in the right hand corner, so I'm going to adhere this here with my silicone glue. And we are almost done. And I want to put enough adhesive on here because the easel is going to be attached to this. So just line it up and make sure that it's on the frame. Smooth it out. And what's good about that glue is it has a little bit of a drying time. It sticks good, but you can move it. It slides. So there we have that. And here is my easel. And I cut 2 pieces of 110-pound cardstock. So I cut the die twice and I glued this together. If you have white chipboard, then you don't have to do this, but I wanted this sturdy enough. And this little piece comes down in the back like this. So what we need to do is put adhesive on this side and this. So that's what I'm going to do right now. And then I'm going to take this and eyeball it in the middle. And I think that looks good right there. And you're going to want to make sure that this piece is all the way to the bottom and it's straight. And press it down. And that is it. I know you're not going to be able to see this when I put it up, not all of it, but that is finished. And you can see, I'm going to take that out, and you can see that we have completed the frame. Thank you everybody for watching my tutorial today. If you have any more suggestions for tutorials, please let me know. And until next time everybody, happy crafting!